here we go. Okay. America or bust.
Did we accidentally put on an episode of The Twilight Zone? Because this isn't at all what we were expecting. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 out of genre TV episodes. For this list, we're taking a look at more TV episodes that are inconsistent with the show's usual genre, offering something completely different. If you don't see one that you think should be here, be sure to check out our original list on the topic. Number 10, Connection Lost, Modern Family. Although it doesn't completely abandon the show's mockumentary format, this episode of Modern Family still sticks out like a sore thumb drive.
What's the best first-person shooter about genetically modified space marines? Halo!
Coming out around the same time as the 2014 computer screen film Unfriended, the episode is entirely confined to Claire's laptop. From FaceTime to Facebook, Claire uses every digital tool at her disposal to track down a missing Haley.
Oh my God, what are you doing? Are you filming me?
Yes, I want you to see how crazy you are acting.
Looking at a desktop for 22 minutes might not sound especially thrilling, but Connection Lost crafts a compelling mystery with a legitimate sense of dread.
Okay, so last night when you were with her, she didn't say anything about getting married.
Haley got married? That's so upsetting!
While the dialogue is every bit as witty as viewers have come to expect, this is probably the show's most visually unique outing. The motion graphics producers and editors do an especially impressive job at keeping the action energized. Number 9, Duet, The Flash. This might not have been the first superhero show to get the musical treatment, but Duet certainly took the Arrowverse to uncharted territory. In a crossover with Supergirl, Barry and Kara find themselves under the Music Meister's spell.
Barry, where are we?
I don't know.
Well, you know what they say. The show must go on.
Darren Criss, who previously co-starred with Grant Gustin and Melissa Benoist on Glee, is perfectly cast as the charismatic yet mischievous Meister. To escape his musical dream realm, our heroes must listen to the songs in their hearts.
Think of your fellow man.
Stop that.
It's not happening.
Lend him a helping hand.
It's not gonna work.
We're not singing.
Put a little love in your heart.
In addition to perennial tunes like Moon River, the episode features original songs from seasoned musical talents. Rachel Bloom of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend worked on the toe-tapping Super Friend, while La La Land's Benj Pasek and Justin Paul wrote Runnin' Home to You, which marks a pivotal moment for Barry and Iris's relationship.
All I wanna do is come running home to you. Come running home to you.
Number 8, Free Churro, BoJack Horseman. BoJack Horseman regularly mixes black comedy and heavy drama. This Emmy-nominated episode, however, took the comedy and drama to unprecedented places. The episode opens with a flashback to BoJack's childhood, where his father unleashes an emotionally scarring rant.
Some days are the one day that are just for me and my craft. And still, you and the black hole that birthed you conspire to ruin it for me. What am I supposed to do now? Just go back to writing? I'm out of the zone now. The whole day's shot, all because of you and that brittle wisp of a woman you made the mistake of making your mother.
This monologue is just a warm-up for the main plot, which revolves around BoJack's eulogy at his mother's funeral.
Hey, Mom, knock once if you think I should shut up. No? You sure? I mean, I don't want to embarrass you by making this eulogy into a melogy.
Even when BoJack gets off topic, he finds a way to tie his ramblings back into the troubled relationship he shared with his mother. Free Churro is like a stand-up routine meets a therapy session. It's also essentially a one-man show with Will Arnett providing the voices of BoJack and his father.
You can't depend on anyone. Sooner or later, you need to learn that no one else is going to take care of you. That's what I learned when I had to make my own sandwich. You can't rely on other people, BoJack. It's good for you to know that.
Arnett turns in an acting tour de force as the grieving BoJack, effortlessly transitioning between resentment and remorse.
Now, it's good to know that I am the only one that I can depend on. And I know that now, and it's good. It's good that I know that. So, It's good my mother's dead.
Number 7. Dreams. MASH. MASH never shied away from the grim effects of war, and this episode is one of the most surreal examples.
I don't think we'll ever get out of here. They tattooed our brains with this ugliness and we'll never get it off.
Well, I'm gonna escape right now for exactly 2 hours.
Sweet dreams, Margaret.
That's what I'm planning on.
The viewer can tell up front that this is going to be an unconventional half hour based on the laugh track's absence. Sleep deprived, the team tries to work in a few Z's between surgeries.
If I could make a fist, I'd be shaking it in the air right now.
Have yourself a nice long rest and be back here in 12 minutes.
Even in slumber, however, they can't escape the constant death and pressure that surround them on a daily basis. While every dream is different, all of them provide insight into the team's innermost desires and phobias. Each person is in for a rude awakening. As much as they're overdue for a good night's sleep, a doctor's job is never done, especially in times of war.
Well, it's been a miserable, grueling, rotten couple of days.
A little shut-eye would go down great right about now.
You can say that again. Even my teeth are dozing off.
Compared to the way I feel, Rip Van Winkle was an insomniac.
Number 6. Far Beyond the Stars. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The original Star Trek was notably among the earliest shows to tackle taboo subjects like race relationships through a sci-fi lens.
Raided our homes, tore us from our families, herded us together like cattle, and then sold us as slaves.
They were savages, Captain. We took them into our hearts, our homes. We educated them.
Yes, just education enough to serve the master race.
And in this unique episode, Deep Space Nine continues that tradition. Passing out, Benjamin Sisko envisions himself and the rest of the crew as people in the 1950s.
Personally, I don't see the attraction. Spaceships, flying saucers, men from Mars.
What's wrong with men from Mars?
Nothing.
The episode mostly ditches the alien makeup and intergalactic setting to tell a down-to-earth story about ignorance. Sisko slips into the role of a black sci-fi writer whose work is undervalued due to his skin color.
Okay, you can sleep late that day.
Of course I can. God forbid the public ever finds out that Casey Hunter is a woman.
I suppose I'm sleeping late that day, too.
It's not personal, Benny, but as far as our readers are concerned, Benny Russell is as white as they are. Let's just keep it that way.
The episode shares a fair deal in common with Season 4's Our Man Bashir, but Far Beyond the Stars carries a stronger social subtext that still remains relevant today. You can silence someone's work, but you can never silence their dreams.
Tell me, please, who am I? Don't you know? Tell me.
You are the dreamer. And the dream.
Number 5. Episode 2.4, Master Slave, Mr. Robot. Remember when TV shows weren't afraid to be corny fun for the whole family?
What's happening? Where are we going?
God, Elliot, what's your damage?
Cool it, Darlene. You know your brother needs our help sometimes.
That boy of ours. You sure we're not first cousins?
Well, this retro episode of Mr. Robot takes us back to a simpler time, and then takes a sharp left turn into madness. Although Elliot Alderson has always had trouble differentiating between reality and delusion, getting stuck in an 80s, 90s sitcom is next level.
Used to be you could trust in the story, vilify the villains and celebrate the heroes.
The tone is kept upbeat with a laugh track and corny theme song, but Elliot's family aren't exactly the Brady Bunch.
Your finger's broken, young lady?
Not yet, but in this family, it's only a matter of time. Ow! You're burning me! So what if he hears?
How about being more useful than your sack of potato sister?
Mama needs a new pack of Slims.
Not even a guest appearance from Alf, yes, that Alf, can lighten the mood.
Yikes!
Kill me!
While the episode's second half reverts back to the show's usual format, the first 17 minutes or so could pass for a TGIF comedy. Well, a totally demented TGIF comedy. Number 4, The Nightman Cometh. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
But you know what? If you guys don't want to be in it, I can find other people to play your parts.
Hey, hang on there, pal. Hang on. We're just trying to wrap our heads around this.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to give away our parts, all right?
All right.
No, we'll do it.
What's it called?
The Nightman Cometh.
It's Always Sunny is probably the last sitcom we ever expected to do a rock opera episode, which is exactly what makes The Nightman Cometh so incredible. The seeds of this idea were actually planted in a previous episode, where Charlie sings a suggestive tune called The Dayman.
You pin me down with your strong hands and I become the night, the passionate nightman.
We need a new front man.
That one song blossoms into a full-blown musical, complete with a coffee shop princess, a disgusting troll, and a tiny little baby boy.
No.
What? Get over here.
No, Antonio.
I control you.
You control nothing. I am not your slave anymore, and I am not a boy. I am a man. See?
On one hand, it's a fairly straightforward story about day versus night. On the other hand, the play is a descent into incoherent absurdity that could only stem from the mind of Charlie Kelly.
Man, oh, fighter of the night, man, oh, champion of the sun, oh, you're a master of karate and friendship for everyone, Dayman.
The episode proved so popular among fans that it inspired a stage musical, guaranteeing that the sun would rise again. Number 3, Once More with Feeling, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. As far as musical episodes go, Buffy arguably set the gold standard in Once More with Feeling.
Last night, did anybody, burst into song?
Merciful Zeus.
We thought it was just us.
Oh, sorry.
It was bizarre. We were talking and then it was like you were in a musical.
When a demon named Sweet rolls into Sunnydale with a zoot suit and tap shoes, the entire town can't help but express themselves through song.
I've got a theory that it's a demon, a dancing demon. Nah, something isn't right there.
I've got a theory, some kid is dreaming, and we're all stuck inside his wacky Broadway nightmare.
I've got a theory, we should work this out.
Not since the Rocky Horror Picture Show has the supernatural genre blended so well with show tunes. The episode covers a wide array of musical styles, referencing everything from Rent to West Side Story to Disney. What makes One More with Feeling so special is that it's not merely a standalone episode. The plot ties into the show's larger narrative, with each song propelling the character development and relationships forward.
Life's not a song. Life isn't bliss. Life is just this. It's living.
This is one episode that definitely doesn't just go through the motions.
The hardest thing in this world is to live in it.
Now that was a show-stopping number.
Number 2, ExCops, The X-Files. The X-Files and Cops both helped put Fox Network on the map, but you still wouldn't expect these shows to go together, what with one being a sci-fi drama and the other a reality program.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Then again, this special episode did come out only a few months after the Blair Witch Project hit theaters.
I insisted that we weren't lost. I insisted that we keep going.
So maybe a crossover was inevitable. ExCops takes on a mockumentary structure, following Mulder and Scully as they investigate a mysterious entity that can seemingly assume any form. Mulder is all for the free publicity, while Scully is naturally more skeptical.
Why? Why do I believe you? Yeah, I mean, what proof do you have what I'm saying is real? I mean, it's not on the videotape.
The camera doesn't always tell the whole story.
As humorous as the episode can be, the story still feels grounded in the show's supernatural lore. It's out of genre, but not out of place.
So don't be afraid now! And you're on national television, so cowboy up!
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
All that and more on the Johnny Karate Super Awesome Musical Explosion Show! It's time to punch boredom in its stupid face. And drop kick sadness into outer space.
Dean? What just did... Ah! You're a cartoon! Billy, why are you a cartoon?
I'd ask yourselves the same question.
I mean, I love you as one loves another person whom one simply cannot do without.
Well, I love you too, Stewie.
Now, some people out there might hear this idea and say, outer space, why? I prefer to say, outer space, why not? And so, without further ado, we present to you News Radio in Outer Space.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Teddy Perkins, Atlanta. Putting a label on a show as ambitious as Atlanta is easier said than done, but this is the only episode we'd categorize under the horror genre.
Hello? I'm here for the pic.
Who's that, Mr. Wonder?
The fact that the plot shifts the focus to Darius is far from the most unusual thing about this episode. That distinction goes to the character of Teddy Perkins, a recluse who looks like a post-plastic surgery Michael Jackson. Once Teddy appears on screen, the episode slowly snowballs into a haunted house story. Much like Get Out, Teddy Perkins leaves its audience contemplating whether they should laugh or recoil in fear.
Most people wouldn't understand. To make an omelet, you have to break a few eggs.
Of course, the whole episode takes on the form of a practical joke when you consider who played Teddy Perkins. For the record, it was Donald Glover.
You have to believe, Troy. Wait, you don't have to believe. I didn't. I may have done some damage there.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.